So I had the delusional idea that I could draw the top 10 hardest things to draw to find out if they really are that hard, or is the internet just lying to you again? So let's go. Alright, so at number 10, we have a human skull. And you know what, just to make it harder, I'm gonna try and finish this in 10 minutes. Also, by the way, I should mention, I have never drawn a human skull before. This is my first time. We're just winging it together. Yes, I said together, meaning if you have a scrap piece of paper, draw along with me, why not? And just to keep everything consistent, I'll be using the same brush for all, which is my absolute favorite, the Dreamy Sketch brush pack. I literally use it for everything. It is my go-to and perfect for all levels. I'll put it in the description if you're curious. And I'll also be using the same app too, which is Procreate. These proportions right now that I'm doing are very questionable. I never realized how large human eye sockets are. And you might be wondering,
well, Viora, there is no definitive list of hard things to draw.
Which, yeah, true, I guess. And that is why I took the average of all the top hardest things to draw when I typed it in Google and made them into this ultimate list. Okay, my guy looks really wrong in many ways. This part is a little too bulging. My teeth. There's something wrong with my teeth. Hold on. Do I have enough time to... Okay, wait. Let's keep it for now, but the teeth is what's bothering me. Hello, this is Viora in editing mode. Hope you're all doing well. You're special if you're hearing this, because I know people are going to skip near the end and not hear this message, so I shall reward you because you didn't skip. So after you watch the video, comment the hardest thing that I didn't already include in this video, and I will read every single comment, and then I'll pick the hardest suggestion, I'll try and draw it, and then I'll show it in my Instagram story. So please let me know, because I want to be challenged even more. Okay, let's get back to Scully. See, I always get halfway through, and then I realize I never flip the canvas. The teeth, I think, should I try and fix the teeth? I feel like I don't have enough time. Alright, and I think we are done with 2 minutes to spare. Was this hard to draw? It was alright. 1 being super easy, 10 being extremely hard. Maybe like a 3. And on the does it look good scale, from ugly, good, to awesome, I would say it's like in between good and awesome, right? Like you can tell it's a skull. It's not bad. And number 10 hardest thing to draw is accomplished. Let's go into number 9. I think the hardest part about this one is what food should I draw? You know what, we should also keep up the streak of drawing something that I've never drawn before, but I have drawn realistic food before, so I had the best idea. I'm gonna try and draw anime style food because it looks kind of hard. Is this just an excuse for me to watch Food Wars again? Maybe, but their food looks delicious, so... And I just realized I'm not in Asia anymore, which is when I had access to Food Wars because Netflix in Asia is packed. So thank you Surfshark for sponsoring this video. They are a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network, which helps in 2 ways: changing your virtual location and securing online data, which in our case will allow me to get some nice food references from Food Wars that isn't available where I am now. They have over 3,200 servers in 100 countries, which means I can now bypass geo restrictions and access, say, Taiwan's Netflix library, which has Food Wars, the anime that I was looking for. And not only does it allow you to swap your device's location to another country, but it also keeps your online identity secure. So we all know how important securing your online data is nowadays, and Surfshark helps in this way by masking your IP address so your city or country or download history are not connected to your identity. And another feature that makes me feel safer is that it encrypts your online data by securing your personal information, so if you connect to free public Wi-Fi, you'll be protected from hackers. No one likes them. So if you want to secure your privacy with Surfshark, you can enter my code VIORA for an extra 4 months free, and I'll put a link in the description for you to check out. And on that note, let's go to Food Wars and find out which food we want to draw. So this is what I got. I'm deciding between the one with the egg yolk or just this one, but I chose this one because it just looks so juicy, which I feel like would be hard to draw, and I want to be challenged, so maybe we'll go with this one just because it looks more traditional sushi-like. Okay, same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. You know, it's always starting out that is the scariest part, because you're just like, okay, this is where my proportions could get really messed up. Oh my gosh, look, I remembered to flip the canvas. Oh my god, sushi is literally so good. I'm literally getting sushi later in like an hour. Insert photo here of my sushi. You guys like sushi? I feel like sushi, you either love it or you hate it. I totally forgot I still have to color it because I feel like this won't look the same if I don't color it. So I gotta color it, but I only have like 5 minutes. This could just be a complete fail if my coloring doesn't go through. It's just gonna be like a red brick on a white brick. Does this even look like rice? Oh my gosh, coloring is not my strong suit, and now I have to do it in 5 minutes. How do I make something look juicy? How do they make this look so juicy? Oh my gosh, I have 50 minutes left. Oh, 50 minutes, 50 seconds left. Also, normally I would like to pick my own colors, but because this is a race against time, I am just stealing their colors. I'm sorry. Nothing wrong with that, but I just think it's fun to like pick your own colors sometimes. But for now, we gotta take what they give us. I feel like I'm not doing much. Like I'm literally just scribbling. It's all the brush. I feel like it's 1% me, and then the rest is all the brush. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think we're done. Was this hard to draw? Honestly, not really. I feel like this was easier than the skull, so maybe like a 2. On the does it look good scale, I would say it's also between good and awesome. Maybe I should move the skull up to awesome because that looked pretty good now thinking about it. Okay, the skull is now awesome, and this is between good and awesome. And number 9, hardest thing to draw, is now devoured. Let's go into number 8. Now looking back, I have done a lot of anime style looking clouds, but to be fair, I did use this brush set that makes drawing clouds super easy, which is why this time we are going to try a realistic looking cloud, specifically this very confusing cloud formation that I think looks really hard to draw, so we're gonna try it. Okay, same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. All right, let's start off with the sky. I gotta set the tone, very romantic tone here with the light gold. Let me see if I can name all the clouds. I know there's cumulonimbus, stratus. Those are the only two I know. You know, one would think that cloud formations are actually kind of easy to draw, like you're just scribbling, but this specific formation is actually really hard. I am struggling. Are you struggling? You're following along, right? We're doing this together, dual effort. Yeah, your cloud probably looks a lot better than mine. Okay, you know, if I were to be optimistic, if you're into like abstract interpretive art, you might enjoy this piece. Oh my god, there's 30 seconds left in it. What was that noise? Oh my gosh, that was like a farm animal. Okay, time is up. This is definitely something. Okay, hear me out. If you zoom out a lot, it may resemble a cloud-like formation. All right, was this hard to draw? Yes, specifically this formation of clouds, very much so. And on the does it look good scale? For me personally, I'm gonna have to say absolutely not. If you are into abstract interpretive art, you might say maybe, absolutely, which I would then thank you very much. And number 8, did not eat. Oh my god, that was so bad. And let's redeem ourselves with number 7. So I've never drawn a bicycle before, and these just look hard, so I'm very scared. Let's go with this one. It looks like it has some, like, you know, personality in it. You know the drill, same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. Okay, my trick here is I'm gonna try and draw it small because I feel like it's easier to grab a hand on the bike anatomy. Okay, I see why they're hard because there's too many like straight lines, you know? I feel like sometimes it's easier to draw if you like don't have that many straight lines because you could just like wing it. Oh my gosh, look at this wheel. Look how hard that's gonna be. Oh gosh. I don't even know where to start. I'm just probably gonna put it in random places. Wow, that tire is like 10 times smaller than that one. I think I drew this way too dark. Like, how do they make this kind of see-through? Ooh, did I fix it? I think I kind of fixed it. I hope we are struggling together because, you know, it's definitely a lot funner if you're struggling with your friend, am I right? You know, like the sushi, I love adding this like extra shine. It's just like, so good. Okay, so this is what we got. Anatomy-wise, I feel like there's a lot of questionable areas. Like, why is this dude so thick? The handlebars are also a little bit questionable. So was this hard to draw? Honestly, it was easier than expected, but still hard, so yes. And on the does it look good scale, I think it's mediocre. You can tell it's a bicycle. A lot of areas of improvement though, but I'll be nice to myself. I'll say it's good. Number 7, hardest thing to draw, victorious. All right, let's go on to number 6. Alright, I hope you are ready to follow along this one because we are doing hands. So I've drawn hands before, anime style hands, a lot of them. Some cartoon weird looking hands, realistic hands. So I was thinking what kind of variation of hands could I do that's like human hands but then not, because I've already done that before, and we got chimpanzee hands. Because they're like human hands but not at the same time. You get my point. Same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. You know, despite drawing a lot of hands, I'm still terrible at them, so get ready. Oh my gosh, I feel like if you saw this right now, you would have no idea what that is. Do you do guidelines or do you just like wing it like me? Like I'm just free forming this shape. They have really long fingers. That's so cool. Look at all the wrinkle details they have. I definitely don't have time to do that. I feel like this shape right here is so wrong, but I mean, I have 5 minutes to fix it. Should I fix it or just like roll with it? Okay, this could be a really good or really bad mistake because I'm redoing the entire hand. Hold on. This fur is like F-. Okay, I have 1 minute left, but they have really dark shadows, and I think I want to try and incorporate that. Speed round shading. And okay, we have about 10 seconds left, but I think we are done. All right, so was this hard to draw? Again, I think it was slightly easier than what I expected, but it was still kind of hard, so yes. On the does it look good scale, honestly, I think it's not bad. You can tell it's hands. Can you tell it's chimpanzee hands? Probably not, so I'll be nice to myself again. I'll say it's good. And number 6, hardest thing to draw is now complete. Let's go on to number 5. So like the previous one, I have drawn water before, but you know, they didn't have like tons of detail and it's still quite stylized. So we're gonna try this really hard looking one. This is giving me like the same vibes that the clouds one gave me. And same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. Oh, that is a luscious blue-green. Love it. Again, I feel like this could turn out looking pretty sick or as bad as the cloud one. You know, dare I say, this is gonna turn out worse than the clouds one because I have, I think, 5 minutes left and this is not looking good in my favor. Okay, so clearly I realized I'm not gonna finish this entire painting, so I'm just focusing on this area right here. Literally, why did I set myself up for failure? Like, I saw this photo and I was like, yes, I know I can't draw that, but let me try to draw that. Oh my gosh, I'm almost out of time. Oh my gosh, help me, I can't do this, help. Wow, okay, I have never been butchered so hard in my life. If you ever want to be humbled, try drawing this photo in less than 10 minutes because I just got majorly humbled. And so was it hard to draw? Yes, this specific water photo was very hard to draw. And on the does it look good scale, you don't even have to ask me. Absolutely not. And also the first one that we technically didn't finish. So number 5, hardest thing to draw, an extreme failure. Let us do better with number 4. So at number 4, hardest thing to draw, we have the Eiffel Tower, but we're not going to be basic and draw a front-facing one, which is why I'm going to set myself up for failure again and try this weird-looking perspective. Stay with me now, same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. I think my goal right now is just to try and finish it. Wow, I'm literally kind of embarrassed to even be showing this. How are you guys doing? Because I am once again struggling, as you can tell. You know, I feel like just architecture in general is very hard. This looks so bad. What? Okay, it's just like black nothing down there, so I'm just gonna do that. Do you want to hear the worst French speaking ever? Okay, ready? Voulez-vous un croissant? If any of you watching this can speak French or is French, I'm very sorry. I apologize. Okay, there's something bothering me about this tip here. This part, I did something wrong that makes it not look very Eiffel Tower-y, right? Because if I cover this, you could be like, okay, yeah, that looks pretty Eiffel Tower-y, but then you see that and you're like, oh, what is that? All right, let's start over with, oh gosh, just 3 minutes on the timer. Also, does anyone remember that show, Miraculous? I was obsessed with that show. I literally tried to learn French so I could watch that show in French. Okay, and I finished with 6 seconds left because I don't think 6 seconds is gonna make this look any better. But you know what? I gotta say, I feel like if you just saw this, you would know that it's the Eiffel Tower. So on the was it hard to draw scale, yeah, it was hard. This is like a 5 out of 10 hard. And on the does it look good scale, I would say it's between bad and good. It's like not the best, but you're like, okay, it's like acceptable. And number 4, hardest thing to draw is a wee done. And now we're moving on to the top 3 hardest things to draw. Let's go. So coming in at number 3, we have dog. I've never drawn a realistic dog before, so we're just gonna go with this. Random Viora lore. This is the first dog I've ever had, so I gotta do him justice. Same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. Like architecture, like buildings, I feel like every animal basically is kind of low-key hard to draw. Like, how are their eyes so beady, but then at the same time, very loving? Again, we're at that stage right now where it's either like this could turn out really good or really bad. I just realized I forgot to set off the timer, so I'm just gonna let it run for a little bit. Does anyone watching this have like a really cool family pet? Because I knew this girl who had a ferret and I was like, that is so cool. And I feel like if you have like a snake or like some sort of lizard, I just love when people have cool pets. Oh my gosh, it looks like he got stung by a bee over here. This is terrifying. This is definitely your sleep paralysis demon. Oh gosh, I have to do the body in like 3 minutes. I have to draw a foot. I can't draw feet. Wow. Okay, and we have about 3 seconds left, so I think this is just what we got. So was this hard to draw? Is it one of the top 3 hardest things I've ever drawn? No, but it is still very hard, so yes. And on the does it look good scale, you can definitely tell it's a dog. It's leaning more towards sleep paralysis dog than it is an actual dog, but yeah, you can tell it's a dog, so I'm gonna say it's between like ugly and good. And number 3 in the top 3 hardest things to draw has been triumphant. All right, let's move on to the second hardest thing to draw. I see why cars are at number 2 because this just looks hard to draw. Ooh, what if we try and draw the most expensive car? Why is it so... I can't pick, so I'm just gonna choose the first thing that comes up when I typed in car. Same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. All right, we got a pretty good shape going on, I think. You know what I love about cars is how like each of them has kind of like their own face. Like it looks like they have a face. Oh my gosh, I only have like 5 minutes left and I spent all the time on the stupid tires. And they have a lot of black areas, so now I'm gonna do some quick last minute shading. This is what we got. Okay, I feel indifferent about this. It's not the best, but it's not horrible. So was this hard to draw? Yes, this was quite hard to draw. I would give it like an 8 out of 10. And on the does it look good scale, you can tell it's a car, but it's a little bit like wonky. Like you look at it and you're like, wow, this is like if a car had Uncanny Valley. But I think it's still on the better side. So I'm just gonna say it's like a solid good. Number 2, hardest thing to draw. Approved, I hope. All right, let's go on to the number 1 hardest thing to draw. Let's do this one because it looks particularly advanced. And one last time, same brush, 10 minutes on the timer. I feel like we've been on such a great journey together. Personally, which one do you think that I did the worst on? Because for me, it is the water. Or do you have a favorite one? Honestly, I think the skull one is my favorite. Wow, look at how round this specific toe is. Because this is the last one, I'm gonna try and make it as beautiful as possible. I know a lot of people are just gonna skip to number one, which I totally get. I would do that too. I hope I can show you the best foot ever. Wow, I truly have never even considered looking at feet at this angle and let alone draw it. And it's such an interesting experience. Well, look at this guy just peeking out over here. Gotta fix that. Is it just me or is there something about this foot that makes it look like he's on his tippy toes? Also, you can see when I'm like erasing here, I'm still using this same brush to do the erasing. So don't worry. Same brush for every single drawing, even the eraser. No cheating up in here. Oh my gosh, I have 10 seconds left. Okay, I think this is all that I can do for now. Okay. So this is my first time drawing feet, especially at this odd angle. Wow, number one hardest thing to draw. Was it hard to draw? I'll be honest, it wasn't as hard as I thought. Maybe it's because I had a lot of practice drawing the 9 other hardest things to draw that this just also kind of feels the same level. Like I would say the Eiffel Tower and the water and the car were actually slightly more advanced. So I'm going to give this a 5 or 6 out of 10 for the hardness scale. And on the does it look good scale, I think I like this foot better than this foot, but you can still tell it's feet. So I'll give it like I'll be nice to myself again. I'll give it a solid good. So to answer the question, is the internet lying to you? Are these really the hardest things to draw? Yes, they were very hard to draw. Do I agree with the top 3? Not particularly. If I were to redo the list, I would say the car, Eiffel Tower, and water were the hardest things to draw. But aside from that, that's it. All right, bye!